So, guys, I'm not sure if people are gonna chime in. There was 25 people, I think, that mentioned that that registered. But obviously, most of those people won't probably won't come in. So I think it's better that we begin. Okay. So thank you all for being here. As we're discussing on our WhatsApp group, and I'm trying to show some ways on how to buy Fanstoys, but obviously it does not apply only to Fanstoys. In Taobao, which is I'm not sure how to spell that in English. Taobao, do you say that?
I don't think we know how to say it either.
Yeah, I thought so. In fact, I say Taobao, which is and the Portuguese one, and probably the Chinese way to say that.
That
Anyway,
sounds like how I would guess.
yeah. Anyway, two things. First, I there are some steps that we need to set up before we can buy in Taobao. However, I don't think I'm gonna enter on those steps in details. They're not the easiest way to go, but I would prefer to skip them. Otherwise, it'll take too much time discussing how to set up your Taobao account. There are several how to's on the web, and you can probably use the how to's easily. This is one I find it interesting because besides, I'm just putting it in on the chat. Okay, you can copy it there. But besides Taobao itself, you does need to set up Alipay also. Alipay is basically PayPal, but for the Chinese market. So the easiest way to buy in Taobao is to use Alipay. The problem with Alipay, as people who tried it might know, is that you do need to use your credit card because it's basically PayPal, and there are some people that are not comfortable with that. I've did that. I've been using Alipay since the first time I used a Taobao, which was some time ago, but no problem, obviously. Uh, but I understand that some people might not want to do that. There is one way well, there are some ways that you can set up Alipay. You can't link directly with PayPal, but you can use PayPal and a third party to transfer to Alipay if that's the case. I think it will be too much hassle on that. Uh, but then again, if you are not comfortable with giving your credit card to Alipay, uh, there's not much you can do. Because if you don't set up and verify Alipay, in fact, you have trouble paying Taobao, for example, because Taobao is directly linked to Alipay, right? And although Taobao does accept other methods, they are usually methods that are used in China, not internationally. So the best bet, and what I have been using for more than 2 3 years now, is to use Alipay, which I think is not only the one of the only ways to do that. It's also one of basically the safest way to do that. Okay, this link that I just passed to you on the chat, it says how do you can you set up the Alipay app using the app, and then you can also they also say how you can set up Taobao using Alipay, which is make this a lot easier. Okay, so unless someone wants some specific doubt or comment related on how to set up Taobao and Alipay, I would just skip that because it may take a while to discuss that. The main fact is I did this 2 3 years ago, so I don't even remember all the details, right? One thing that's important to understand is that you also have to set up at least two other things if you want to use Taobao at the fullest. And one of them is an app called Le Wang Wang. So this Wang Wang app is part of Taobao. You can, I never know where you can do it inside Taobao. So I prefer to install Li Wang Wang. I have it installed. I will show it to you later, but I haven't installed it here. Okay, and also you might want to also install WeChat, which basically is the instant messenger most used in China. Okay, you can also both of them you can put them on your cell phone, but I do prefer to buy in Taobao using the web, using the notebook or the computer instead of the cell phone. I will explain why in a little while. Okay. Thing is, I will show this afterward, but this is the things that you probably should go for you to begin. Then being able to buy on Taobao, you need to set up basically Alipay in Taobao, and you can do this here. And would be interesting for you to also install Ali Wang Wang and WeChat. WeChat is in fact, Ali Wang Wang is simple because you can log in with them using your Taobao login. Ali Wang WeChat is a more complicated one because I have been trying to register in WeChat for more than 1 year, and I couldn't do that because they need to check some things. And during the 1 year that I tried to install to register on WeChat, there were some problems that my cell phone was flagged for some reason, and I could never register it. And then one day, it worked. So uh, I would take care that if we share that you might not be able to register it on the first tries, but it will work automatically sometime. Okay, so just take care with that. With this in mind, then I would begin to show you how to specifically buy Fanstoys in Taobao. Okay, any question for now?
I'm sorry. What did you say the utility of the Ali Wang app was?
Yeah, the other Wang web,
Wang Wang.
yeah, you can contact the stores directly.
Okay. Yeah, I've also had issues getting WeChat set up because it keeps saying that too many requests have come from my phone number, even though I've
Yeah,
only
that's
yeah.
basically the WeChat is good because when you became a customer of the stores, they usually give you a WeChat or a QQ number. Okay, I have both registered, but I prefer to use WeChat. The thing is, in WeChat you can get updates from the stores. I understand that you can get this on Wang Wang too, but I had never found that. Okay. So WeChat has an option, which is the stream option, and each day they start put information on new releases there. That's the best way to know if things are being released or not, because their group on WeChat will tell you. Okay. On the other hand, when I contact the stores, I always do that on Wang Wang. You don't need WeChat. That's the thing, right? You probably need Wang Wang because Wang Wang you can all these links here are from different stores. So if you want to contact the store, the best thing to use is Wang Wang, in my opinion. Okay, so all this here that I have contacts are from stores. The only problem is you might not be clear for you without asking them if a new product is available or not. Before I managed to set up the WeChat, I had to ask them. From time to time, I log it in and ask, "Well, does this fence toys is coming or not?" No, they said, "Well, it's coming in 2 days or 2 weeks or whatever." So we need to you go actively after them. Okay. Uh, so then again, Wang Wang as your question, Wang Guang is basically to talk to stores. I will go back here more after we discuss the way to go to work in Taobao. Okay, but Wang Guang is basically to talk to stores. WeChat, if you can use it, is good also because you can just check what the stores have for the news. or you can find it in Wang Wang because I couldn't find it in any way until now. Okay, but it's more clear then, Robert.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so after you log in to Taobao, uh, another important stuff here is that you are in the US, it may be interesting to use a VPN because I really am not sure how this work worldwide. I can access Taobao and other Chinese sites directly here, but I understand that that for some countries, including the US, it might be difficult to go to some Chinese sites. Maybe the ISPs maybe block some things, or China blocks some ISPs or whatever, right? So I don't need to use VPNs, but it may be the case that you need to use a VPN to access Taobao. Okay, so just take care. And if you're not able to access it, it's probably because you need to use a VPN to do that. Okay. When you log in at Taobao, then you see this window, right? This window is the search window, basically. The easiest way to go here is to use Google Chrome, because you can then automatically change the Chinese language to English. Okay, so you don't need to have any everything in English. In fact, if you're used to it, I usually only change to English when I need to, because of certain details. But I'm already used to use Taobao enough for not needed to change it to English all the time. One very very important thing here is that you can choose which type of region you're looking for, you're using Taobao at, okay? And this we need to take care, because I know there are a lot of people, particularly in TFW forums, they said, oh, I can't find this thing, I can't find that thing, usually because they don't change the region. The best region to use is China mainland, obviously. It has the most results, okay? So you need to take care of that. Sometimes this change automatically. I don't know why. So from time to time, I take a look at that. And if I think I'm not finding enough things, I just go back here and change the channel mainland. Things go back to working as it should. Okay. If you go into your login details, you see a lot of stuff here. For example, there is one of here that says that shops that purchase things. Okay, so it would just show. Oh, I have to go to login again. Sorry. Oh, another thing. Sometimes it depends. I don't know what it depends. In fact, probably depends on a lot of things. But a lot of the time that you surf in Taobao, a window pop up that says, "Oh, you're doing suspicious activities." So you just have to click to continue. Okay. So, for example, these are the stores that I bought things on Taobao. Again, most of the things are Fanstoys, in fact. If you go here, for example, just try again, show you in English again. If you go, let me go back here. If you go here, for example, you see English again. You see our orders. These are all the orders are made on Taobao. So there's a lot of orders. In fact, I have 11 pages of orders. This is the name of the store. This is one important thing here, Robert, on your question. This is the Ali Wang Wang link. If you click here, for example,
Okay.
you got see open Ali Wang Wang, and you open it, you go here, they go directly to the person, the link, the contact here. Okay, so if I click here, for example, it go directed to this guy with his from ZW store. Okay,
Very nice.
yeah. This might be a little confusing, and this I think it's we just showing you. These are snapshots of these are called snapshots of your payment, well, of your order. Okay. However, if you look at this, you notice that these ones they are uh, pre-orders because the total is too low. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
31 is $4. And that's a little confusing if you're not used to it because this is an snapshot of the order, but this is an snapshot of the pre-order. When you need to pay it, you need to do another order. In fact, I will show you in a while, but just take care of that because the number here that it's showing here is not exactly the number of things that I did. It's the number of pre-orders that I did, and a lot of those things are payments which are double orders if you think about it. Okay, it's not that I bought 200 pieces of things on Taobao yet. Okay, I'll come back here to explain more details this afterwards. But let's go back on how to basically navigate Taobao to buy stuff. Okay, so let me go back to the initial page. What I usually do, you have to take care because some people try to find some things and try to do things like that. FT40. But if you search for Fanstoys FT40, you'll find Fanstoys FT40, some of them. Okay, this, for example, would be the three things that get the search query recovers. Okay, there's three links here with FT40 because the FT40 here, 40 here. I prefer not to do it this way. Okay, unless you really want them specifically, but just take care because the way usually the way the search works, it searches for this definition, this here, but this is what the stores put, and sometimes they don't put the correct information. Most of the time they do, but sometimes they don't put the correct information. What I usually do, it's more complicated, but what I usually do is just look for fans toys. Why? Because if I look for fans toys, they will return all fans toys, including some of the fans choice which are separate. Okay, I'll just show you in a minute. But the thing is, if you look for fans choice together, you get 20 plus pages of results. Okay, just you to see another thing. If you look for fans and choice on separate, you get some results, but there are less results than if you look at fans choice. There are only 3 pages of results. Why? Because most of the stores they use the fans choice together in the description of the product. So using fans choice together is the best way to get most of the results. Okay, there can be times when you also should look for fans choice and separate, because I've already had this problem. For example, for the last two aerial boats that we had reviewed some time ago, there was one store that put some new pre-orders because most of the pre-orders were already cut out some 3 years ago when the robots were first reviewed. And this store in particular, they didn't use the fans toys together, so you could only find them if you look at for fans toys and separate. But again, this is the only time that it happened to me. Okay, but it's important to understand then that you probably would want to use fans choice together, and then you need to, if you need to, you can also check fans choice and separate one. Another thing that I do is let me just again go to English here. Another thing that I do is that instead of going here on the results, I simply go from total price for low to right to high, for example, and then I begin with all the small prices which are basically pre-orders. Okay. Uh, one important thing to understand about Taobao is that Taobao is basically like Amazon, or more like the Amazon Workplace marketplace. And most of the stores at Taobao, they only sell new product. Okay, so you, yeah, Moose, Spindrift is the cheapest, but it's not the cheapest to show here because it is more expensive than the pre-orders. But yeah, it is still the cheapest one of the full payment. Okay.
Oh, it include these are POs as well as in stock items.
These are POs together with in-stock items. They are the results of looking for Fanstoys, so you can know if they are POs or in-stock items unless you go and see that. But obviously, this is $4, okay? So it's obviously PO. In fact, when you do this like I did, you go at least for 2 or 3 pages of POs first. Oh, I lied to you. Sorry. The cheapest one would be the universal stand, in fact. But you see, there are 3 pages of POs, or 4 pages. Then you go to the universal stands together with some more expensive POs. Then you came to Spindrift here. Whoa, it's 240. This is very, very, very cheap. Let me just see it here. Yeah. This is the problem. I'll tell you afterwards the thing on the store, but this is related to the how the store is. Let me just show you. This is the way these stores in Taobao are rated. Okay, the main thing is you probably want to buy in the stores. They are at minimum 4 or 5 diamonds here, right? So a lot of the results would be in lesser stores. I would take very care with buying with stores with less than 5 or 4 diamonds here, which is the case on this one. Okay, this one, in fact, this 240 probably is a used one because it's very cheap. No, this is another problem. This is a replenishment. This is what you pay, the balance that you pay for one. I've never seen this one here. Not sure if why a balance is appeared here. But anyway, let's go back to what I was showing you. So then
Can,
again,
can I
yeah,
ask you a quick question? What are
sure.
the other what were the other things on that screen with the diamonds and like hearts and other things I couldn't make out? What are, or do those have any meaning when you're looking for either a store or a product or something like that?
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to. Oh, this is the one of the best ones, in fact. Uh, the minutes, these are the ratings. The ratings are related to the ratings the users go give to the stores. Okay, in practice, smooth. This usually means that the higher the rating, the better the store. This is the worst rating. These are the best ratings. Okay.
Okay, so
Five
hearts
hearts
is
is
worse
worse than
than
one diamond.
diamonds and
Oh, this is the order. In fact.
okay.
So the worst one is this one, the hearts, and the stars keep selling and getting ratings. It goes up here, which is down in fact, but it's up. Okay, so that's what I said. These are the best ratings. You are usually okay buying for oh, just forgot the English name for this, the crown. If you buy from a crown store, you're probably usually okay. If you buy less than crown, you probably should stick to 4 or 5 diamonds rating stores. Below that, I think it would be too. It would be a little worrisome to buy from any store below that. Okay. Anyway, there is another thing that is important on buying, not only the rating, but also these things here. So what I usually do, and this say things about the description of the item, the service, and the logistics, okay? What I usually do is I never buy from a store that is, well, I bought from time to time, but again, it's my decision. Never buy from a store that is less than 4 diamonds rating. Okay, never buy from the one that is here. But also another check is never buy from a store which those things here are down, and never buy from a store in which those numbers here are less than 4.9 or something. So if I would wrote like that, let me just do something here. Robert, I was going to ask something. Sorry.
Oh no, I just noticed that it looked like it was a pre-order for Berserk as you were scrolling by.
Hmm. Okay.
Marcelo, you're going to post the link to this recording, I hope, as I open my second little self-serving of sake.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. I'm just lots of detail. Don't know if I'll remember it all.
Sure. In fact, I won't. I will put this in our website on our YouTube channel.
Nice, thank you.
So again, this is our only these are my general rules. Okay, you can buy anything you want, in fact, but if you follow those rules, you're probably okay in principle buying Taobao. Okay, I'll also send this here to you. I wrote this somewhere, not sure where, but anyway. So on the case of the stores here, as I already mentioned, what we have here is uh, the name of the store. This is a Three Provinces toy store. This is one of the best stores for Transformers in general, and it shows because it's the only one that you've, at least that I found, that has the golden crown, one golden crown. This is the link, as I mentioned, to the Ali Wang contact, and this is the information, this is the reputation, right? And this is the information on their ratings on description, servicing, and logistics, right? One interest, one interesting thing to understand is that these stores, in fact, they are generally most of the big stores, the most known stores, are in fact physical stores in China, right? So I was just searching for this yesterday. If you look at here, why I did put it here? Okay, this is one store in China, for example. It's in a mall, a common no mall with a lot of Transformers and comics and other things. And this store here, for example, if you look at Taobao, you see that there's a store. You just see the favorites here. Oh no, I don't have a favorites here. Not sure why. You open my other, just a In just a moment. Oh, I remember where I have the link for that on my website. As a reminder, I put on the website the link to a lot of Taobao stores that I use, okay? So if you go to the online stores here, you can look at several of those stores. That store that I showed to you, the physical store, is this one in Taobao. It's Noble Animation, or Aristocratic Animation Toys, or whatever the name it is in Chinese, okay? So, for example, this store is that one physical store that I made that I showed you there, and this is true for most of these Taobao stores because most of them, at least the biggest ones, they are originally uh, physical stores. This store is in Taobao since 2006, for example. So there's 15 years in Taobao. It's a lot of time there is there. And most of those big stores, they are physical stores and also on Taobao for decades. Okay, which way is better? It is better if you just try and get your Fanstoys on those stores. The only problem with those more old and more reliable stores is that they usually are very when they open pre-orders, they usually go out very quickly. uh, I would say that basically these stores here, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, they would be in principle, well, also tortoise also. uh Let me just show you these stores: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. TF Club also 12. These 12 stores, I would say they are very, very reliable because they are all old stores. Okay, the other may be true. I use them a lot, in fact, but they are not as known as those other stores. And this is the problem that I mentioned. These other stores, when they open pre-orders, they usually go fast, right? They usually have from, I don't know, 50 to 300 units for franchise POs. As I discussed already, it's not open, but I'm pretty sure that the stores have already predefined unit allocation from Fanstoys. That's why they simply open the POs when the figures are out, because they know they will have at least those minimum number allocated to them. But those stores, they usually, although they are the best, their POs are usually the first ones to go out. Okay. Now going back here on the practical stuff, let me just show this again. So I mentioned if you go on the search here and then on fence choice and then use something like I did here, which is total price from low to high, you'll see a lot of those things, right? So let's just check one of them. One that I want to show you. As you can see, we have pre-orders for all the recently reviewed fans choice, right? You can find a lot of them here, in fact. We can just open one here, for example. Not good. You see what I told you. This is a one diamond star, not a good store to buy from, in fact. This is one I usually bought, for example. Dark Mount is from the Dark Mount toys. Okay, this is what you'd see, right? I'm explaining basically the POs for you in principle because buying items in stock is very easy. You just buy the item here, okay? You just would to buy an item on stock is the same thing as buying an item on PO, but then you would go here. If either you go buy now or add to cart, okay? If you, for example, add to cart it here. Oh, this is another important stuff. Sometimes when you translate on Google Translate, things don't work. So you probably need to go back to Chinese before you able to buy. It does not happen always, okay? But you need to know that. And if you buy it here, for example, you go here and you'd say, yo, then I'm gonna buy. I'm not gonna do this because I need to buy if I did, but that's the way you should do. So you would buy there. You would what would appear? I think I'll need to buy to show one for you. No problem. Let me just show you then. If I go here and click the buy one, you would go to this page. Okay, this page is the buy-in page. So you already bought it here, and it will ask where what is your delivery address here. Okay. I use a ship and forward service. Why? Because first, Taobao has warehouses, 2 or 3 warehouses, where they can send products abroad, but only for a very few countries. US is one of them. However, the service from the Taobao warehouses is not the best one. In fact, since last year, most of the people that use the Taobao web stores in TFW, they change it to a ship and forward service because it's more reliable. You also would pay a little more for the shipping forward service, but I think it's better because you can control things better. One information, this is the ship and forward service that I use. It is named yoibuy.com. I can show you more of this lately, okay? But if you go here, this is a ship and forward service, and they gave me an address, okay? A Chinese address to send to. This address here is the address for this YoBuy service, okay? In this case, I would send to this place. I would click here, right? Would say this is the the product, and I would submit the order here, right? When I submit the order, in my case, it go directly to Alipay, and I'm not logged in Alipay, in fact, here. Yeah, and then here I can pay. Okay, so this is my credit card. There are other credit cards. I can pay things here. I just put in my credit card number here and security code and pay and confirm. That's what I do. Okay, so that's basically how you formally buy things. Okay, so you need to keep put on your cart or on your or you put the buy it now. Then you go to the payment, and the payment you need to choose the address. Then click after you choose the address that you want. You click pay, and you go to Alipay, and as you put your credit card numbers then, and you can just buy it directly. This is the easiest part, as I said. Okay. The thing is, when you have a pre-order like this one, you need to take care because sometimes the pre-orders are cut, right? And it's only written here cut. So you can buy it, but they would accept that, right? And this is part of the problem we have with the Chinese, in particular Taobao stores, because they don't change that. They enable you to buy something even if you can't, if they don't have that, or if it's a pre-order, you do have to take care of that. Okay. So this is a deposit, right? In particular, because you know that this is not out yet, and this is a very small amount. And when you do that, this deposit, when you buy the deposit, you get a deposit. What means that when this FT62 is out, you have a deposit that you can pay. The good thing about the deposits is that the deposit is always more is cheaper than you buy it afterwards. So that's why I always buy on the PO. Okay, POs is usually at some 20 US dollars cheaper than the street price, sometimes more. Okay. Then what is the specific things regarding the pre-orders? You get this pre-order here, and you note that if you go here again, you can see the payment, the pending payment here. I didn't pay this yet, and it should be shipped here, right? And a lot of pending receipts. So if you go here, you see. Let me show you all my orders, for example. So I have this order here already paid for F2 56. Okay. What this means is this is Mongkok, the store. So Mongkok animation. This is also one of the best, the biggest ones. So and this is out of stock if you look at here because they cut the pre-order. Okay, they had the 300 units pre-order and just cut some days after the pre-order opened. What it means in practice is when FT 56 is released, you can pay for the PO. Okay, and this is what I said is a little problematic if you don't use WeChat. It's not that all problematic. In fact, you know when things are. If you monitor Taobao and TFW in our group, in fact, you know when the product is out. So what you would have to do, you would have to go to talk to Mongkok, for example, using Li Wang, okay, and then just make sure that you can buy it, you can pay that. There are some tricky parts here, okay. If you look at this, I mentioned this is a snapshot, right? The snapshot, you can't buy the full paid balance through the snapshot. You need to know a link, which is the link for the replenishment, the balance. Sometimes it is the same link of the retail that they have. Sometimes they are not. That's why it's good for you to go to Ali Wang and ask for them for the replenishment link. They will give you the link, and then you can buy again to pay the balance. And this is the really tricky part, okay? If you buy a pre-order, you are entitled to have a discount, right? But the discount is not directly applied here. Usually they show only the full price. What you have to do is buy the stuff. So you have to go, let me just show you back here then. You have to buy the stuff again, put it into buy, but you can't pay. You remember what I mentioned that if you click on the pay, you go to Alipay. Remember that, people, guys?
Yep. Sorry. Yep.
You can't go to that, right? You need to buy, but don't go to Alipay. Why? Because when you buy it, it will be in your it will be shown as that you bought it and it's not paid yet. So when you do that, you have to contact the store on Li Wang and say, please change the value. And then they will automatically change the value for you. And also when you go back for your pending, and then again, as I showed here, there will be a pending payment here. When you go back to the payment pending, they would have changed the price here. And that's how you get your pre-order discount. Okay? Just take care of that because most of the time, if you didn't do that, they would not give you the discount because you need to do this before. Okay? It's not that difficult, but the thing is, don't finalize your payment for a balance before they change the balance price. That's basically the rule. Okay. So going back to my explanations here. So what you can do again, you can look at all of those things If you want to buy something that is in stock, I would just suggest another thing. Contact the store to make sure that they have stock. Okay, as I mentioned, although some stores make it clear on their web stores, most don't. So sometimes they say that they have stock, but they don't have stock. So it's better, for example, this rig, for example. You go here and check, oh, they do have some rigs here, but it's not exactly correct that they do have. So it's always better to contact the store previously, okay, if you want to get things on stock, okay? Uh, Another two things I think are important to know, and as I mentioned, related to Eli Wang Wang. 99% of them don't speak English, okay? I would also suggest you don't speak English with them. Why? Because these discounts are for the Chinese market, and this is also another reason why you probably should not use the Taobao web warehouses, right? These are for the Chinese market, those pre-orders. So if a store know that you're not from China, we are not sending to China, they may not give you the pre-order. It happened to some people that contacted me on the last months, and some stores are doing that, probably because of TS or something, okay? But the thing is, when you talk to the stores here, it's best that you talk to them in Chinese. To talk to them in Chinese, what I do is basically use Google Translate. So I just put things here. I prefer to go on the Translate website, just put things here. Hi, do you have FT66 on stock? And then you translate to Chinese, simplify Chinese here, and just copy and paste this here, okay? And things like that. This one, for example, was just asking if they had any news on FT on Tesla and Chomp, right? And they just answered me that you need to wait. So this would be my suggestion. So just take care with discussing with them in basically in English. There is one store that answers, for example, in English here, but again, it's one of the few. Only a few of them really talk to you in English, right? Another thing that is important. Well, another thing that is important, as I mentioned to you, if you want to use it, and I suggest that you use it, is to understand how the shipping forwarders work. So I'm just showing you here what I use, okay? When I register, for example, there are more than one. Most people in the US seem to use Superbuy, which is another one. I'm not sure why I don't like Superbuy that much, although I use them from time to time. Superbuy is another one, okay? Where I prefer to use YoiBuy. When you go to YoiBuy here, then you can see, let's change here to English. You can see here, for example, your China's address. This is the address that you need to put in Taobao, for example, as your shipping address if you're using a shipping forward service like YoiBuy, okay? When we receive things here, they come here. For example, this one, I received this here, for example. This in fact is another thing. This is, I even use this for a Fanstoys service. This is a part that I received for Forager that Fanstoys sent to me, and they send them to YoiBuy. You can request pictures. They would do pictures for you and ask you for $2 for those pictures, right? And then what you can do is submit here. And then you submit here, you choose the delivery address. This, for example, is my address. You would have a quote here, and you see that it's $6 if I use the cheapest one, for example. There are other options. And I would have to declare the value here, declare the money and pay on some way, right? All of those shipping services work like this. I'm not sure if you use it to using shipping services, but they usually work the same, basically the same way. So again, what is important here is to understand your if you're using a shipping service, get your Chinese address and put these addresses on Taobao. Okay. Going back here, right? As I said, you can find some used products here, but I would say take very care and buy used things in Taobao. Okay, I bought one once and it was okay, but it's not the best place to buy used things because some stores can just try to not be clear on the description and things of that with you. I would just keep Taobao to buy new stuff, particular pre-order stuff or stuff there is in stock if you already don't have it. Okay. If you go, for example, on the other way around here, on the total price from high to low, you see a lot of things, right? So they have, for example, here, you can find this terminals here, right? Which is very, very expensive. This is probably true that they have one copy here because I asked him on the past, but only one copy, in fact, or two. Not sure if there's the store, but again, this is not a reliable store. Okay, I wouldn't buy it, and the price is very weird. Uh, you can check the Chinese price here. It would be some 1,100 US dollars. So I wouldn't pay those price for a store which I don't have enough confidence. Okay, you can find something like this. Just take care. This store, Model Toy Store. It's not this store, in fact, but the name is Model Toy Store. This is a black store. Okay, so don't buy from this store, this Model Toy Store here, because it doesn't have stocks. They buy used and send to you used products as if new. Okay, this is the only store that I know that is a black store, but just take care. But this really is not a reliable store. Although they have the crown here, but you notice that they have all of those things are decreasing. You notice that?
Yeah.
So this is one of the marks. Don't buy when those things happen. Particularly, don't buy on the store. Okay. But then again, you find a lot of stuff here, but most of the time they wouldn't have that. Another problem, if you look at these prices, for example, you see that there is a done rider for 3,000 yens, which would be some $300. It's not that they are $300, okay? But it's because they don't have it. And instead of saying they don't have it, they put a higher price, okay? So
I
this is
suppose
some,
for $300, they go out and get one.
yeah, if you look at that price, it would be $300. They even say that you can even buy this, but they don't have this. What they do is they put a high number so people don't buy it. Okay. Okay, Robert.
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
So just take care of those laws. You be shown a lot of stuff, but most of those stuff they are not here. In fact, they are just kept here because people don't the stores don't change it. Okay. Another thing that you can also do is to look directly on the stores. As I mentioned, if you go to my website, you see the stores here. And most of the time also I can just go directly to the stores I want. As I mentioned, the first 10 or 12 here are the best ones. I just click on the store and go to the stores themselves. This is important to understand how this works. It's not very easy to sometimes to surf here, but most stores they have something like this. They have a list You might not know that, but they have a list of companies. And if you look for FT, for example, you find a hidden link to FT here. Okay. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
If you go for FT here, you go to all of this store has. Well, hopefully, because sometimes they also wear. But again, this most of the time they have the correct description, right? So this is all the offers that this store has for FT, for example. Obviously, these new ones with the low prices are
Pre-orders.
pre-orders. Okay, they do have a part of FT 20, which is only the B part. You can find some of this. The price is not bad. In fact, this is
Like $130, $140.
$150 more or less. But again, this is only for the B part, okay? And you can find the A, in fact. If I had found the A, I already had bought this B part, in fact, because then I could have a full one. But you can find from time to time there's a store with old stuff, okay? This is for the tapes. This is for rig, right? This is interesting to show also. If you go here, you can see that this is the balance, okay? Oh no, both of these are not the balance. These are in fact the spot. When it's written in spot here, okay, the spot is the new one for them. That's the why how they say that it's a new one, okay? The difference really is related to if you pay with the card or not pay, or if you pay using UBay. You probably use card, so you pay a little more because of the 1% tax, okay?
So
But that
spot means that you don't have to have a pre-order, but that's the full price. You can.
this is the full street price,
Okay.
right? So anyone can buy here. You pay the full street price, right? So they probably had some 9 or 8 of those, okay? This price here, for example, is 479. $479 is 75 US dollars, okay? But the difference, as I mentioned, is that the yeah, the good thing on this last few months is that the pre-order price is not that much different from the street price. This is weird. I think this is the pre-order also, although it's mentioned spot here. Let me just check something here. Yeah, but it's been happening lately. The pre-order price for several of the new ones, particularly the mini bots with the prices is lower, right? The pre-order prices is very near the street price, which makes you may not even need to pre-order depending on what you want. Okay, I prefer to pre-order just in case anyway. But if you go to rig here, for example, yeah, the real price of rig should be something like 550, okay, which would be some 17 US dollars more than the street price. If this is their price, it is a good price because this would be the current price for rig, okay. Again, it's some dollars. I paid 450. In fact, I paid a little less. In fact, on my pre-order, I paid 67 US dollars, right? Which is 12 US dollars less than here. But again, It could depend on what you want,
How
right?
much did you pay to ship?
I pay a lot of shipping because I pay a lot of shipping because Brazil is always expensive. But
Hmm.
for example, if you go to the US, you pay some for a rig, you pay like $20 for shipping, more or less. 20, 25 at most.
So if he's coming in at like 78, $79 right now plus 20, 25, like I think he's currently up for 109 free shipping at Show Z. Would you say that markup on weight per bot to ship is pretty standard? Like anywhere, guessing for a bigger bot, it might be what, 40
Bigger,
US?
bigger bot is more. And that's the thing. It's more, but it would be for. I think I've never seen a 40 for the US. And I check the prices from time to time. A 40 would be something like Phoenix, for example. But even the bigger
Okay.
bots, something like 35, more or less,
Okay.
at most. Again, from my experience, okay, the shipping got a little higher during the pandemic and is still a little high, but they're going down from time to time depending on how things are going in China. But this would be most of the price would go too much more than 40 or something. Okay,
Okay. Thanks.
and again, if you look at this might not seem like too much of a difference if you buy on the US on another international store. But again, the way to get the cheapest things and to get to save money is to buy a lot of the POs in Taobao for a lot of figures because then you get on the end you get some discounts. Okay, if you look at one unit separate, you probably won't get that much discount. It would be even better to buy another place in the US, on Europe or whatever. Okay. But if you look at what I said, what I paid, for example, and I paid 65, you would pay some $20, let's say 25 here for the US, would pay this for the US to get a rig in the US if you pay the pre-order price that I paid, for example, which is a little bit cheaper than buying in the US, okay? And if you do that 10 times, you get two figures free. Again, I'm not saying that you need to buy or whatever. As I always said, it's my opinion. I buy in Taobao always because I don't have any other option, right? But it's something to think about. Is there anything that I need to say more so we can open to discussions here? I think
I
I
was
said most of the
I,
things to
I was
say.
just curious why you prefer UI buy to super buy.
I am used to Yoiba. In fact, I think it's easier, and I'm used to talking to them all the time. I talk to them, and they respond okay. So I don't need why I need to go to Superbuy.
Okay.
They Superbuy does seem the same thing, but again, it's more because I'm used to Yoiba. I do have to send something. I have my universal stands are in Superbuy to send them. I'm just keeping it there because it's too expensive to send.
Hmm.
But again, I prefer to use Yoibai. Just use it to them. Guys, I think basically this is most of the thing that I want to tell you. I know it's a lot of information as was asked, and I'll put this on our YouTube channel afterwards. But I think this is most of the things that I think is important to show you. And I just wanted to open for discussions now, so you can we can show things again if you want. I can answer any question that you have.
When you put in a pre-order, do you get some sort of notification to come back and pay the balance, or you just check in at the website from time to time?
Yeah, I can check in. That's why I mentioned that usually the best way what I did in the past is to go to the store when I know that the what I knew that the figure was going to be released, and you can know that from a lot of sources, right?
Sure, yeah.
And then you just go to the store and talk to them and ask them. Okay, this is one easy way to do, because as I mentioned, they do warn, some stores do warn you using Li Wang Wang, okay? For example, these they warned me that RP01 was arrived and I needed to pay the balance, but not all stores do that. Okay, so the best way to do is you keep care of that and ask for the store. The other way that I mentioned is use it WeChat, right? Because in WeChat, I can show it right now because I'm using my phone as a camera.
Hmm.
But when you go to WeChat, oh, I do have WeChat here, but I don't think I can log in. Oh no, I can log in. Just give me a minute then, okay? And that's the thing. They always ask you to go back again because it takes some time. The Chinese are very worried about security. That's why some of the things don't work as they should. Okay. So if you go to WeChat, I am a member of some of the groups from the stores here. Okay. And these groups, in fact, they give information and discuss information. But what is most important is here, which is called the stream. So this stream here is where they start put all the new arrivals or almost arrival. Three provinces just put it here. For example, that Tesla is gonna come, and people probably need to pay for the balance. Okay.
Hmm.
Finally, Tesla is coming. You see, so they say the notification of replenishment in order and first replenish, first wait for no one. Okay. So what need to do is if you have a pre-order of Tesla with three provinces, you probably should go talk to them to ask for the. Let me just show you because probably they probably have this here. Just again, let me just get my three provinces link.
Hey, I'm jumping off. Thanks for doing this, Marcel. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye. So if you go here, Robert, I think it's a good way to show this. Let me see if they already have. Hmm? This is not three provinces. What I did wrong. Let me just something is wrong. I know this is these three provinces. I'm not sure what's wrong with them. Where they changed it. Whatever. So if you go to FT here, they should have this. Okay, so this is what they said. Okay, Robert. They said there is going to have a replenishment. They do have the replenishment here. In fact, if you look at this in English, you see that they have the replenishment link and the full pre-sale.
Hmm.
Okay, the replenishment link, in fact, is 78. However, the replenishment price is 77. So you also would need anyway to go back and ask for them to change the price. Yeah, 77. And because you already have some pure some you paid for part for the PO, you need to ask them anyway to change the price. So what you do is to click on this link, replenishment link, pay buy it now, for example, and then talk to three provinces, usually Yuan Guang. Okay?
Okay.
And then they would give to you, they would change the price and you can then pay it. When you pay it, they will send you to your shipping forward, and some days you receive it in your shipping forward, and then can check it if you want, pay for the photos to check if you want, and then send to your country. That's the idea then. So this is how you can do. I don't have this for all stores, as I mentioned. I have 3 or 4 only, and I buy from more than one store. So what I do is I by myself go after them. Okay, so when I know that things are going out, like this Tesla is going to be uh, launched in China on the next few days, I would go
Mhm.
after the store and ask them. They would give me the link, for example. I think it's
Okay.
more reliable than waiting for them. Okay. Anything else that you want to ask, Robert?
Um, no, I was just tooling around the Taobao site trying to figure out. I think maybe I'll try buying like a magic square or something. Smart, start small and see how it goes.
Exactly.
Uh,
That's what you should probably do also. Just to make sure, if you want to buy that, just to make sure that things work. But yeah, you can buy anything. You don't need to buy even you don't even to buy a transformer. You can buy whatever.
I suppose that's true, but Transformers are usually more fun.
Oh yeah, and I'm just saying that you can buy screws if you want.
Sure,
Buy,
sure, sure.
just to make sure that things work. Okay. But that's it. So if you have any more doubts after going to there, I'm pretty sure that you have more doubts after using that. If you're gonna try it, you can just reach me. I can show you more stuff and discuss more stuff. But I think basically the idea is that I hope I can could just show you the general idea of Binder and some
No, this
quick.
was great. Thank you so much.
Okay then. So I think we are gonna be off for now. And as I mentioned, I will just get the video and put it on our YouTube channel, so you can also saw that again if you need to. Okay,
Okay. Uh, Thank you again, and really appreciate you doing this.
thank you. Bye bye. Have a good night.
You too.
Thanks.